Good afternoon and welcome to Surfin' Sundays on Financial News Radio 1510 AM KFNN. Surfin' Sundays features a whole afternoon of high-tech programming with something of interest to every member of the family. At 1 o'clock, join KFNN for Craig Crossman's Computer America. At 3 o'clock, it's Len Winkler with ham radio and more. And now get ready for fun and lots of free computer stuff with myself, Mark Shander, on the Computer Fun Shop. Now, every caller that joins the conversation on the air here wins a Shander pack full of the latest computer games and entertainment titles for your PC. Welcome to the Computer Fun Shop. Today is Sunday, December 31st, 1995. My name is Mark Shander, and for the next hour, sit back, grab a pencil and paper in case you'd like to take some notes, relax, and get ready for fun. Now, recently, in an issue of Computer Buyer magazine, Ted Dennard reviewed Blizzard Entertainment's Warcraft for the PC and for the Macintosh. Warcraft 2 was released earlier this month, and it was one of the biggest game hits of the Christmas retail season. Over 300,000 copies, including reorders, were shipped worldwide within the first 10 days of its release. And more than 50,000 units of Warcraft 2 were sold at retail in the United States during the first weekend of the game's release. 1 week after the release of the game, Warcraft 2 had become the #1 selling PC entertainment title available at retail. Our guest this afternoon is Bill Roper, senior producer at Blizzard Entertainment. Blizzard is a division of Davidson & Associates Incorporated, a leading software publisher. Bill is also the narrator and does some of the voices in Warcraft 2. Welcome to the Computer Fun Shop, Bill.
Hi, how you doing today, Mark?
Great. How are you?
Great.
Appreciate you being with us here this afternoon.
Well, Happy New Year and Happy Holidays.
Well, thank you very much. Tell us a little bit, probably one of the major technologies that a lot of people are talking about that pretty much came out, and I don't know of any other title that really does this, came out with Warcraft 2, I guess, is this spawning technology.
Yeah, actually, Warcraft 1, which we released last year, also had the spawning technology, and it's just a way that we wanted to allow people to be able to sit down and experience the game and the fun of multiplayer gaming without having to make that initial commitment of spending their money and buying the game. And so it lets people who've played the game and know it and love it and want to share with their friends, lets them go ahead and play against other people they want to have experience the game and do so at no risk.
Okay, so basically what spawning does is it lets multiple people play an interactive game, a game where you're in your friend's game and your friend is in your game, using only one CD-ROM. Yes,
you're able to install copies from the original CD onto another hard drive, and then that allows that person with the spawned copy of the game, the one that was copied onto his drive, to play against someone who has the actual CD, and they can play competitive or cooperative games against each other.
Now, there's a kind of still an incentive for people to go out and buy the game because you can't play alone against the computer unless you do have the original CD-ROM, right?
Yes, correct. To actually play the campaigns that are in the game, you would have to then also have the CD. As well as when you're playing multiplayer, you're going to want to practice. So
sure.
You're going to want to buy your own.
Okay. You're listening to the Computer Fun Shop on 1510 AM KFNN. My name is Mark Shander. Our number to get in on the conversation here at the Computer Fun Shop is area code 602-230-2755. 230-2755. Now, every caller that joins in on the conversation here wins a Shander pack full of free computer stuff. So call in now. We have one line available at 230-2755. We're talking to Blizzard Entertainment's Bill Roper, the senior producer there, and we're talking about Warcraft 2, Tides of Darkness. How was Tides of Darkness selected as the name of the sequel, Bill?
Well, one of the things we wanted to make sure that people knew right away when they saw the product, and also where we've kind of gone with the Warcraft universe, is introducing the multiple arenas of combat. Warcraft 1 was basically a land combat game. Warcraft 2, Tides of Darkness, as the title implies, has an aquatic theme added. In Warcraft 2, there's land, sea, and air combat.
Wow, so you can actually control aircraft.
Yes, you can control dragons and griffins and
cool.
balloonists and
balloonists. Balloonists don't sound very threatening.
Well, balloonists are good.
Oh, I'm going to drop a sand pack on you if you don't.
Actually, the balloonists and the flying machines as well don't have any offensive capability, but another thing we added in Tides of Darkness, which kind of ties into the whole darkness aspect, is something we call the fog of war. When you move into an area, you unmask it, you uncover it, so you can see what's there. When you move out of that area, the landscape grays over. I still remember what the terrain was, but if I'm playing against a computer or a friend and they bring some units in there or they build a building in there, I can't see them because they're not in my line of sight. Now, if I have a balloonist, for example, or a flying machine, while they don't have any armament and can't deal any damage, they have a very good line of sight. So they're excellent for placing out as pickets to kind of see the area and kind of keep tabs on what my enemy's doing.
Now, that's one of the differences between Warcraft and Warcraft 2 is the fact that with Warcraft, you'd explore a place and you'd be able to see it forever.
Right.
And with Warcraft 2, you explore a place, and unless you've got a man there, you've got somebody kind of actively checking out what's happening in the territory, you lose sight of what's happening.
Yeah, it really adds quite a bit to the strategic elements of the game. It definitely raises the white-knuckle factor when you're playing against somebody.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of, as you're playing, headlights. You know, suddenly a car's coming with headlights, and you can see what's happening, and then as the car leaves, you know, the headlights gradually dim until you can't see what's going on anymore.
Right, exactly.
Interesting stuff. You're listening to the Computer Fun Shop on 1510 AM KFNN. My name is Mark Shander. We're talking to Bill Roper, the senior producer at Blizzard Entertainment. Blizzard is a division of Davidson & Associates, a leading software publisher, and Bill is also the narrator and does some of the voices in Warcraft 2. Let's take a quick listen to some of the voices that Bill has done.
Due to your position as regional commander of the Southern Defense Forces, Lord Cherenet commands that you raise an outpost in the Hillsbrad foothills. It is rumored that Orcish marauders have been raiding coastal towns in the area, but whether these attacks are part of a greater horde offensive is as yet unknown. Your outpost is to provide food and information for Alliance troops, and as such, should be a community consisting of at least 4 farms. You must also construct a barracks in order to safeguard the Hillsbrad operation.
Now that's kind of like the first mission when you're playing a singles game.
Right.
And basically you have to build 4 farms and figure out how to do that.
Right.
And what happens when you build your 4 farms and you've got your place for people to hang out?
Once you build your 4 farms and your barracks,
your place for people to hang out.
Your place for people to hang out. Then you've achieved your victory conditions for the scenario,
okay.
And you go on to the second scenario. On both sides, on the human, there's I think one of the things that's kind of neat about the Warcraft series is that you can play either the orcs or the humans. You can decide which side is the good guys, or which side you're going to play.
And are the missions the same if you're an orc or a human, or whichever side? Okay.
No, yeah, they're different. They're different missions. Some of the the first 2 to 3 missions are similar. What we wanted to try to do in regards to that is to get people used to how to use the interface and make it a simple thing for someone to step into and play. So we tried to make the first scenarios, the first 2 or 3 scenarios, very ramping up the difficulty slowly to get people into it. But as you get into later scenarios, there's assassinations and escort missions and overall sieges and all kinds of different stuff you can do. And the storylines and the campaigns and the scenarios take drastically different turns depending on whether you're playing the human side or the orc side.
Very cool. What do you get when you get the Warcraft 2 box? You buy the game, you get the CD-ROM inside, but that's a really heavy box.
Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff. You get the manual. There's an 80-page manual which comes with it, which does everything from detailing exactly what it takes to build what. We can have a couple of big trees there to show dependencies, what can be built, as well as descriptions of every single unit in the game. Also, you get a lot of storylines, some history of the characters you're going to be interacting with.
Now, you did some of the writing of the manual as well, right, Bill?
Yes, I did. Actually, I worked with three other gentlemen, Ron Miller, who's our senior designer, Chris Metzen, who's responsible for the vast majority of the storyline throughout the game, and then Robert Georgievich, who's our kind of our desktop publishing layout guru. And I had the good fortune of working with him and then kind of editing overall everything and trying to get everything to fit together and work and make sense, and I'll make it within 80 pages, which was the real challenge.
Wow.
As well as that, you also get, well, of course, your nifty warranty registration card.
Now, let me stop you for a second. Why should people return those things? I mean, you get those things and everything you buy. What's the incentive for somebody to return a warranty registration card? What does that give them?
Well, when people return to the Warcraft 1 warranty registration, they were then put on our mailing list for War 2, and they received in the mail before anybody could really order it, a special offer to buy it at a reduced price.
Wow, before it even made it to stores.
Right, exactly. So they had the opportunity to try to kind of get it, to get it at a cheaper price, hopefully earlier, or for the latest, hopefully the same time they'd be able to go buy it in the store. But to get a little better deal on it. Also, as we're coming out with more and more titles in the future, we want to be able to have all the people on our registration list be able to send them special offers or just mailers with information about what we have coming up in the future, and try to make them kind of an inside part of the Blizzard plan.
Sure. Okay, you're listening to the Computer Fun Shop on 1510 AM KFNN. My name is Mark Shander. Let's go back just really quick, Bill, and what else is in the Warcraft 2 box?
There's also a notepad in the box. A lot of times when you're playing Warcraft, you want to jot down some notes on strategies or units or ideas.
Is there an official quill or something in there?
No official quill will allow you to provide your own.
Okay.
And there's also I think we got into last minute our Blizzard Entertainment catalog where you can kind of check out what games are coming up.
Cool.
As well as being able to, if you so desire, pick up some mouse pads and T-shirts and hats and all that kind of stuff. Kind of wear the Blizzard colors. Cool. And
wear the Blizzard colors.
Yeah.
I went into a bar last night. I was wearing the Blizzard colors. Nobody bothered me.
Nobody bothered me? Of course not. They don't know. You might have an orc with you outside.
Yeah.
The other thing too is not only on the discs. I mean, along with the game, I think another thing I'd like to point out, just so people know. On the CD, as well as the game, there's actually a bunch of other stuff in there. There is a map builder tool which allows people to create their own custom maps for Warcraft 2.
Cool.
So if you play all the 14 orc scenarios and the 14 human scenarios and some of the custom games that we provided, please don't stop there. Get out the map builder editor tool and start building your own maps and throw them up there on the internet, and there's already hundreds appearing to download.
Wow, so you can actually create levels that other people can play.
Yep.
Just like a game designer.
Yeah, exactly. You can be your own game designer.
Wow, that's cool.
So we wanted to make it available, and it's the same tool that we use to build all the scenarios and levels in the game, and we wanted people to be able to get in there and be able to build their own scenarios and make things as hard or as easy as they want to. You can also alter all the units, how much damage they do, how much damage they can take, what their armor's like, and everything.
Okay. Well, let me ask you about that just a second. We'll go to a break in just a moment. It seems like a lot of companies are releasing the actual editors and creative tools that they use to create games with the actual game. In your case, it's Warcraft 2. Apogee and 3D Realms with Extreme Rise of the Triad released TED 5, which was the actual editor that they used to create the levels for Rise of the Triad. Is this kind of limiting the maybe the ability to sell new product by releasing the utility you're using to actually create levels? I mean, it doesn't sound like it's good business sense.
I think it is good business sense, only in the fact that there's such a cry from the gaming community. Every gamer always wants to be a designer as well.
Okay.
And we want to give people that opportunity to be able to go ahead and make their own levels, to, make their own ideas of what they think would be a lot of fun to play, and go ahead and trade that. Also, another thing it does is I think that though we enable people to use the tools we're using, obviously we like to think that because we're in the business, we're going to put some twists and turns and some other things in there that are going to make our particular ways of doing things a lot more enticing for someone to actually go purchase.
Sure.
But I think the main thing that we want to do by giving people the editors, and I think that I'm glad it's starting to become a little more accepted in the industry and more companies are starting to do it, is that when I buy a game, if I really enjoy it, if I can play the game longer and have more fun with it because I can now do something myself to create an environment for me to play within, that's going to encourage me, I think, as a gamer to want to play that game more, to share the game with my friends, and to also look forward to whatever else that company puts out. So I don't really think that it hurts as much as that people might think.
Interesting. Okay. When we come back, we'll talk about some of the other products that you guys have available, some of the other titles from Blizzard Entertainment, and we are talking with Bill Roper, the senior producer at Blizzard Entertainment. You're listening to the Computer Fun Shop on 1510 AM KFNN. My name is Mark Shander. We'll be back with more and your phone calls right after this.
Spend another boring night at home again?
No way. I spent it with 50 of my friends on the Rock Garden.
What's the Rock Garden?
The Rock Garden is the biggest online computer service in Arizona. I just call it with my modem at 222-3000.
All I ever use my modem for is to send a fax once in a while.
And your modem is going to waste. The Rock Garden is a great place to meet other people, play games, use the internet, and just have a great time.
Oh, so it's an online service like Prodigy or America Online?
The Rock Garden is more of an online community than a mega service. They even throw parties several times a month so you can come and meet everyone in person. And they have worldwide chat, hundreds of message areas, thousands of shareware files that you can download, and you can even play your favorite computer games like Doom with other people online.
Wow, must be pretty expensive.
No, not really. You're new, so you'll get free demo time to look around and see if you like the system. It's so easy to use, you can get started right away. Just call in with your modem at 222-3000.
Sounds cool. What was that number again?
222-3000. Give the Rock Garden a call today. Your modem will thank you.
Hi, this is Mark Shander, the host of the Computer Fun Shop, Sundays at noon here on Financial News Radio, 1510 AM KFNN. Let me take a minute to tell you about a really nifty local computer publication that's an incredible value. In fact, it's a better value than any other magazine in the supermarket. You know why? Because it's chock full of great computer-related information, it's locally published, and it's free. Now this is something for nothing. A free lunch. You couldn't take 10% off the cover price at the register if you wanted to. It's absolutely free. Of course, we're talking about Computer Buyer Magazine. It's been imitated, but there isn't a single magazine in the Valley that gives you as much information on computer-related issues as Computer Buyer Magazine does. Computer Buyer Magazine is available at over 600 locations in the Valley. Computer Buyer Magazine. It's Arizona's free computer magazine since 1992. Grab your copy today.
CQ, CQ, CQ. Len Winkler for ham, radio, and more every Sunday at 3 right here on KFNN 1510 AM Financial News Radio.
The Horde is preparing to launch an assault against the mainland of Lordaeron. Orgrim Doomhammer, war chief of the Orcish Hordes and ruler of the Blackrock clan, has ordered you to establish a small outpost on Lordaeron's southern shores. To secure the Zuldair region as Doomhammer demands, you will need to construct a barracks and several farms to feed your troops. Your success may help us determine the extent of the pathetic human defenses and what resistance they can offer against our forces.
You're listening to the computer
That sounds more like Yoda than anything else. Bill Rowe.
Yeah, you know, I think that Yoda may have been an offshoot of the Orcs. Yeah, we wanted the Orcs to sound kind of big and gruff and imposing, but you know,
not like a little Muppet or anything.
Yeah, right.
That's cool. Did you do that voice too?
Yeah, I did.
Cool.
That's me as well.
Do one of the voices for us.
Sure. Which one would you like, Orcs or humans?
Do an Orc.
Okay. The Orcs are the Orcs are a little rough in my system, but I like doing them. They're a lot of fun.
Okay.
Hello, Mark. How are
Cool. Let's lift this. You're listening to the Computer Fun Shop on KFNN.
You're listening to the Computer Fun Shop on KFNN.
Cool. We'll stick that in during the future shows coming up. Thank you. That's cool.
Sure.
All right. You're listening to the Computer Fun Shop on 1510 AM KFNN. My name is Mark Shander. The Computer Fun Shop is part of Surfin' Sundays. Don't forget at 1 o'clock, it's Craig Crossman's Computer America, followed at 3 o'clock by Len Winkler with Ham Radio and More, right here on Financial News Radio 1510 AM KFNN. Let's go to the phones and let's welcome BC from Phoenix to the Computer Fun Shop. Welcome to the show, BC.
Hello, Mr. Shander.
How are you doing?
Pretty good. We should make it the ARC talk.
Yeah, talk to an orc here on the Computer Fun Shop.
Yeah, the first game was really fun. I haven't got the second game yet, but I enjoyed the Warcraft one. It was really fun, especially playing as an orc.
Okay, you're talking to Bill Roper, the senior producer of Blizzard Entertainment, the guys behind Warcraft and Warcraft 2. And did you have a question, BC?
Well, actually, I wanted to comment on another game. It wasn't the Warcraft game that was my favorite Blizzard, but the other one was Blackthorn.
Right, yeah, Blackthorn we did as a developer for Interplay.
Interesting.
And did you have the PC or the SNES version on that?
I had the PC version, and I think it's one of the all-time favorites.
Yeah, I think the best quote I saw on that was best guy with a gun game. And
best guy with a gun game.
Yeah, that was actually the first project I worked on for Blizzard. I did the music for the PC version, and that's how I actually got started in the industry, was writing music. And yeah, it's a great game. That was an awful lot of fun to make.
Yeah,
has a good attitude.
Bill, tell us a couple of more of the games that you guys have out that are currently available, like PAX and things like that. And tell us a little bit about what they are.
Yeah, PAX Imperia 2 will be available hopefully about in March, which is a galactic empire simulator. Kind of gives you the ability to control every aspect of a civilization on the verge of entering the vast frontiers of space. You control economics, politics, military, planetary management.
How is that different from SimCity or like SimCity 2000 or something like that?
We take it on a much broader scale. As opposed to running, let's say, one planet or one town, you're actually having to manage an entire galaxy. You'd be running 15 or 20 planets with hundreds of moons and a vast empire and thousands of ships. And we try to take it on a much broader, grander scale of running an entire galaxy.
Interesting. Okay.
It's coming along really well. We're getting really excited. We've got about 15 artists right now putting it on. It's a gorgeous looking game. It's got very intense 3D graphics. And it should prove to be a great game. Multiplayer, I think we're excited. It's our most ambitious multiplayer project with up to 16 players.
Wow.
Over a net or in
No kidding. Does it also have the spawning thing?
Yeah, we'll have the spawning technology as well.
Very
But that's one of the things we'd like to do on every game, is to be able to have people
get hooked on playing against others.
Yeah, exactly.
And then decide to pick up the CD-ROM themselves. Now, do you need 2 and 3 copies of the CD-ROM to get up to like 8 players on Warcraft 2?
Right. With Warcraft 2, one CD-ROM, you can play 3 players, multiplayer. Adding a second CD-ROM allows you to go to 6 players. Adding the third CD-ROM lets you go to 8 players.
So it's not like you just get one and you can like pass it around the neighborhood.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
Right. To play full 8 players, you need to buy 3 copies, which still isn't isn't too excessive.
Sure. BC, have you tried Warcraft 2?
No, I haven't.
Okay, you will be now, because in your Shander pack, which you've won just for being a part of the conversation here, you get Warcraft 2, The Tides of Darkness. You also get the Electronic Roadhouse, which is produced by Chuck Miller. A lot of people in the industry know him as a reviewer and a contributor to magazines such as Computer Gaming World. And right on the cover, there just happens to be Warcraft 2 Tides of Darkness. Bill, did you know about this?
Yeah, I remember us working on the cover for that, so I'm jealous. I haven't seen the issue yet.
Cool. I'll have to make sure I send you a Shander pack.
Great.
Let's see. You also get in the Electronic Roadhouse 100 incisive reviews. This is the first one I'm looking at. 15 walkthroughs and strategies, and 18 free games, including Abuse, Holiday Hair in 1995. That's the Jazz Jackrabbit Christmas edition for 95. There's Terrian, there's Doom, Jazz Jackrabbit, Rise of the Triad, Terminal Velocity, and Warcraft. A bunch of stuff in here. Cool. It also comes with a bonus CD-ROM, which is the Mindbender CD collection. And there are actually 2 CD-ROMs in this magazine-size publication. So that's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
And you also get a month of service on the Rock Garden online service at 222-3000, or you can telnet to garden.hvs.com. And you're collecting these things, right?
Absolutely. I got it. Storage room there.
Cool. BC's a regular listener here and a caller into the Computer Fun Shop. And as always, appreciate you being a part of the conversation.
I just had one more comment.
Sure.
While playing the Black Dart, the best part I liked was when you shoot a person in there. I mean, it had blood written all over it. Just when you shoot the person, you had the blood come all over the screen.
Yeah.
You know how the Blizzard screen comes on?
Right.
Ah.
Yeah. Well, it's a violent world out there. I don't know what to say. It's an awful lot of fun making the games, and I think that we all realize that it's a way to escape.
Is it true that the more blood?
Shotgun. What are you gonna do?
Bill, is it true that the more blood you have in a game, the better the game does?
I'm not too sure about that. I would say that a big argument for that would be Myst. I don't see much blood in that game, and I think I've sold 30 gajillion copies at last.
That's an official release number, too.
Yeah, I think that is an official release. But I think that if you're dealing with a game that involves shooting or destruction or death or, I think blood's going to seep in there someplace.
Sure, you got to have a little bit. You got to. That's what the death part's all about.
That's right.
You're listening to the Computer Fun Shop on 1510 AM. Oh, it's like an orc talking in the background. You're listening to the Computer Fun Shop on 1510 AM KFNN. My name is Mark Shander. Our guest this hour is Bill Roper, the senior producer at Blizzard Entertainment. Blizzard is a division of Davidson & Associates, a leading software publisher. Bill is also the narrator and does some of the voices in Warcraft 2. And we will be back with more of the Computer Fun Shop on 1510 AM KFNN right after this.
Your dream vacation. Some would suggest a month in Paris. We suggest a month in the new Jaguar XJ6. Paris is expensive, and XJ6 surprisingly affordable. Paris muscles. So does the XJ6, going from 0 to 60 in 8 seconds. Its stereo volume adjusting automatically to the car's speed. Paris has the art of the Louvre. A Jaguar is a work of art, embodied in a classic design, Connolly leather seats, and burl walnut tree. Lastly, in Paris, you may need a translator, but a Jaguar speaks for itself. Jaguar's 2-year dream lease, your ultimate destination. For details on the Jaguar Dream Lease or to test drive the 1996 Jaguar, see your nearest dealer. Or for more information and the free color brochure, call 1-800-4JAGUAR.
Let me tell you about a company that's been serving businesses in the Valley for over 22 years. Professional Business Equipment. Professional Business Equipment is locally owned with management based right here in Phoenix. So when you call for service, your call is answered locally, not by some out-of-state 800 operator. The staff at Professional Business Equipment are proud of their long-term relationships with their customers for the simple reason that they care about them and want to keep them satisfied. This personal touch makes all the difference. Isn't it nice to know that there's a company that provides sales, service, and supplies with a personal touch? Professional Business Equipment has a wide assortment of copiers, fax machines, voice printers, and dictation equipment so that your business can run smoothly and efficiently. Give them a call today at 225-2455. That's 225-2455. Professional Business Equipment, a company with a difference that makes the choice easy.
Hi, this is Susan Webb. Don't miss On a Roll, the show that is changing the lives of people with disabilities in the Valley. Heard Sundays at 5 here on KFNN 1510 AM.
Welcome back to the Computer Fun Shop on 1510 AM KFNN. My name is Mark Shander. Our guest this afternoon is Bill Roper, the senior producer at Blizzard Entertainment. Blizzard is actually it's a division of Davidson & Associates, a leading software publisher, and Bill is the narrator, or are you the exclusive narrator, Bill, or?
On the narration, I guess I am the sole narrator.
Okay.
Though I did not do all the voices in Warcraft 2. In Warcraft 1, they made me do everything.
Okay.
In Warcraft 2, we wanted to give all the different races their own voice. So as versatile as I try to be, I couldn't be that versatile. So we brought in some talents of a lot of the guys in the company who are actually very good. And
yeah, I mean, you can't tell that these weren't guys that you got from a talent agency or something.
That's
these are
right.
really
You
good
can't
stuff.
tell they're not real trolls. They sound just like them.
They sound just like them. Okay, let's go to the phones and let's welcome. Let's see. Boy, the phones are full. That's why I'm not giving the number out. Let's go to the phones and let's welcome Steve to the Computer Fun Shop. Welcome to the show, Steve.
Oh, thanks. Hey, I'm a big fan of Warcraft 1 and all things orcs and human. I'm just curious as to what requirements above and beyond the Warcraft 1 as far as hardware and computer system Warcraft 2 has.
Well, the minimum requirements on War 2, and I quote, 486 with 33 megahertz or better, 8 megs of RAM, a hard drive, of course, a CD-ROM drive, double speed, and DOS 5.0 and Super VGA.
Now, is this a Windows 95 game? Will it work with Windows 3.1?
No, it's the last in our foreseeable future DOS-based product.
The last DOS title.
Right, we're moving to Windows 95. PAX 2, which we talked about earlier, is a Windows 95 and Macintosh co-release.
Well, was there a boo in the background there somewhere? Steve, did you boo?
It was a gasp.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's Windows 95 offers an awful lot of things for developing games and for making them actually, believe it or not, run better and faster on your system.
Wow.
So, I know we're succumbing to technology in the future. But no, War 2 runs fine on any system, Win 95 in the DOS box or Win 3.1 or anything in DOS 1, and of course it's DOS. The editor for the map builder is a Windows title, and you can run that in either Win 3.1 or Win 95.
Oh, okay. So
that's actually a Windows utility.
Interesting. So you have a Windows utility to create a DOS program.
Right. Yeah. Well, it's that cross-platforming development at the same time.
Okay, Steve. Do you have another question?
Well, also, you mentioned some other races of beasts in there. I mean, it's more dimensional other than orcs and humans, or do the humans get some beasts, or is it just the orc side?
No, actually they both do. What we wanted to do was we wanted to introduce some other races. One of the things we did when we were designing Warcraft 2 is we got tons of mail, both over land and on the Great Wide Infobahn on the Internet.
And by sea.
And by sea there. Combined mail combat. And received a lot of stuff. And one of the things that we put in the numerous things people wanted was to have different races in the game. So we introduced allied races. The humans have allied with the elves and the dwarves and the gnomes, and the orcs have trolls and ogres and goblins, as well as some undead helping them out.
Wow.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Now, there are spells and stuff, so you can like raise the dead and stuff like that.
Yep, there are tons of new spells. A few that we kept around from Warcraft 1 that we liked and changed around a little bit. But yes, numerous new spells.
There have to be people, you know, who are very religious who are listening to the show, going, "They raised the dead. What kind of a game is this?"
And it's Sunday.
Well, you know, it's a fantasy.
It is Sunday, yeah.
Yeah, it's fantasy. It's not real life. We haven't got that technology yet. We're actually raising dead people yet.
You know what? If we have the technology, when we do get the technology, you can be sure it'll run under Windows 95, right, Bill?
I think so. Yeah, I think Windows 95 might be maybe the next upgrade.
It's the new developer kit. And all right, we're just having a little fun. Don't need to hear from the attorney. Yeah, yeah. Don't be emailing me. All right. Let's see. Anything else, Steve?
I think that's about it. I was really curious if there were any additional features over Warcraft 1 that Warcraft 2 offers, and I guess it sounds like it's basically same thing, just new improved scenarios.
It's bigger, better. I mean, I guess if I could use 3 B words. More units, more spells. The map area is up to 4 times as large.
I like the air and sea.
Yeah, air and sea
portion of it.
That's graphics and tons of new strategy with the Fog of War.
And the music's great. And the music's really good.
The music, in fact, I'm glad you brought that up. It plays, if you have the CD-ROM player and speakers hooked up to your CD-ROM, it plays Red Book audio, which is the same type of sound you get from your CD player. And you can pop the Warcraft CD into a CD player and starting on track 2, listen to all the music.
That's interesting.
So it runs straight off the CD.
You can play all the music back just by putting the CD-ROM into a regular CD player.
Right. Track 1 is the game, and then track 2 on through, the rest of the CD is the music from the game.
That's cool. I hope more people start doing that. More software publishers start doing that.
Yeah,
that's cool
I think
stuff.
they will. It's a neat new technology, and it really helps bring games to life, hearing the very big, rich music.
Great.
It can be bad if they don't tell you which tracks are the music, because you play that data across your speakers. It's not good.
Right. Most when you're actually writing it to the disc, though, it actually does right on there, so it tells the CD player, this is a data track, don't play me. Some of the older CD players don't have the ability to read that and recognize that. But, I've done that accidentally on an old CD player. I put one in, and it was like, wow, that's really loud.
So you don't have your speakers anymore after that.
That's right.
It's been a pleasure. Okay, Steve, just for being a part of the Computer Fun Shop, and, of course, we appreciate you calling in and being a part of the show. You've won Warcraft 2, Tides of Darkness from Blizzard Entertainment, and you've also won the Electronic Roadhouse, which also has Warcraft 2 on the cover. It actually kind of features a little bit of the artwork from the game and some other stuff. The Electronic Roadhouse has 2 CD-ROMs in it. It's got the Mindbender CD collection. It's got a bunch of walkthroughs and strategies, and it's kind of like picking up a magazine, except it's one CD-ROM. So, and of course, you've also got a month of service on the Rock Garden online service at 222.
Oh man, we're under attack.
Yes.
Yes, my lord.
Each time somebody's saying yes or yes, my lord, Bill, it's when you're clicking on them and telling them to do something.
Yes, that's. We want to give an audio cue as well as visual, so when people play the game, they could hear that, and if you're under attack, they'll let you know that as well.
Yes.
Plus, I never really get tired of having something call me my lord and my liege. And
no, of course.
It's like my computer to be a little subservient.
Absolutely. All right, Steve, appreciate you being a part of the show. Steve's gone. Cool.
He's getting his computer ready to get work.
Oh, no kidding. That opens a line at 230-2755. That's area code 602-230-2755. If you'd like to get in on the conversation and win a Shander pack full of free computer stuff. And in this case, we're giving away Warcraft 2. And, boy, that was just really surprising, Bill, when I took a look at, I got to take a look at all these business wires and things to keep up with what's going on. And there was the press release stating that after a week of having been out, this was like the top-selling game, and there's actually testimonials and quotes from these buyers from places like Best Buy and let's see who else is quoted here. Let's see, Best Buy again, and I think who else is in here?
I think, oh boy, off the top of my head, I think that
Electronics Boutique,
yeah. Right, and I think there's also another, I don't remember, but yeah, actually, we were very pleasantly surprised on that as well, and we totally unsolicited. They just started calling us.
Wow.
A buyer from, let's say, from Best Buy, for example, would call up and say, hey, we just want to let you guys know that you're selling off the shelves. We've had to reorder. We got 30 games in this store in Hoboken or wherever it was, and they sold out in 2 hours, and, thanks. And we said, well, gee, thank you. But it's been great. The game has been doing very, very well, and I think that that's just really a testimony to everybody on the project.
Very cool.
And everyone at the company at Blizzard are avid game players. And I think that we always, when we make games, make ones that we want to play.
Sure.
And I think that that's definitely showing in how well Warcraft 1 and now Warcraft 2 are doing.
Now, I've spoken to Pat Wyatt from Blizzard before on another radio show, which will go unnamed. And, what does Pat do there?
Pat is
He's
our
a producer, right?
Actually, Pat has done production. He was I believe he was the producer on Warcraft 1. He's also our vice president of research and development.
Wow. Okay.
And so, big shot. One of my bosses. So I like you, Pat. Great guy, Pat. I love you.
But, he's one of my friends.
Sure, that's right.
Yeah.
But Pat is in fact, I would say, is the one, as I recall, the one responsible for the spawning technology idea. In fact, he thought, God, wouldn't this be great? I know if I had a game, this is what I'd want to be able to do with it. So I think that secured his position with us for the next million years.
That's cool. It's kind of like shareware is a great marketing technology or a great marketing strategy, and this is kind of like the next thing, and it does require the purchase of a commercial version of software before somebody else gets to try, a version that they don't have to pay for up front.
Right. I think it's just a lot of different ways, even past the whole marketing aspects, just a lot of different ways of getting a game into people's hands that maybe they've heard about the game, they're not sure, they haven't played it, and hey, I've been playing since I was before I can remember, I'm sure.
Sure.
Playing computer games since I had to put a cassette into an old Commodore.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
And it was always neat when you could go to someone's house and play a game, and any way you can get people to see the game and play it beforehand, I think is definitely well worth it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Okay, you're listening to the Computer Fun Shop on 1510 AM KFNN. My name is Mark Shander. Bill Roper, the senior producer at Blizzard Entertainment, is our guest. We're talking about Warcraft 2, Tides of Darkness. Let's go to the phones. Let's welcome Adam to the Computer Fun Shop. Welcome to the show, Adam.
Hello, Adam.
Are you there?
Oh, I'm right here.
Okay.
Okay. I just wanted.
Yes.
Are you there?
Yeah, we're here.
Okay. I just wanted to say, first of all, my girlfriend called me on the other line when I was on hold with you guys, and she wanted to say thanks a lot for coming out with Warcraft 1 because she never got a chance to talk to me. She would call, and she's like, oh my God, you're playing that game again? And then in the background you hear, yes, my lord. Yes, my lord.
Yeah, get her involved.
Humans let her beat you a couple times. You'll never have any problems.
I try, but she likes, like Tetris and stuff like that. She doesn't get into those type of games. But anyways, I got a little demo, or it wasn't really a demo, it just talked more about Warcraft 2, but it also talked about Diablo. Mm-hmm. And I know we haven't talked about that yet, so I was wondering if first of all, if Mr. Roper's involved with that project, and either way, if you can tell me more about it, because it looks kind of interesting. I want to know what that game was going to be.
Sure. Actually, on Diablo, I'm actually really involved with, as with PAX 2. Diablos are the role-playing game that we're working on. It's a more of a darker, gothic, evil, or sinister type of RPG. We didn't want to really have fantasy with elves and dwarves and fairies and sprites. and brownies and pixies and all that kind of stuff. We wanted
brownies.
Yeah, brownies.
You got any Boy Scouts in there?
No Boy Scouts, no
just brownies.
We wanted to have demons and undead and shambling masses, and life stealers.
I don't think the brownies belong.
So do you play the good guys or the bad guys?
I play the brownies.
Brownies. You have to sell
the cupcakes
or score. Actually, the basic plot line behind it is you play the lead character whose town and family has been destroyed. You come into another small village. You find some of the buildings there are bombed out. You talk to some people and realize at the end of town there's this temple that's been desecrated, and there's an evil that lurks and lives deep below in the labyrinth. And you start going down and having to decide what you want to take with you.
We are talking with Bill Roper, the senior producer at Blizzard Entertainment. You're listening to the Computer Fun Shop on 1510 AM KFNN. My name is Mark Shander. We'll be back with more and your phone calls right after this.
Ideas, solutions, results. A simple premise that's the foundation for business success. It's also the mission statement at Ernst & Young, where you have access to experienced professionals dedicated to giving your business the competitive edge. Professionals like Senior Tax Manager Bruce Larson.
Planning now to reduce your future tax burden has never been easier. The Ernst & Young Tax Savers Guide for 1996 includes a new travel and entertainment chapter with the most up-to-date information on automobile leasing deduction limitations and entertainment expenses. The guide clarifies confusing tax issues for you and your business and includes year-end tax savings ideas to help reduce your overall tax bill. There's a limited supply of this valuable guide. For your free copy, call me today at 528-5251. That's 528-5251.
Sure, they have over 600 offices worldwide, but if you think Ernst & Young is too big for your business, think again. Ernst & Young, providing ideas, solutions, and results.
Hi, this is Joanne Brickman, inviting you to ride along with me and Vince Maeda on Savvy Motoring every Friday at 12:30 during Business Day Arizona, right here on KFNN.
Listening to the Computer Fun Shop on 1510 AM KFNN. My name is Mark Shander. We're talking to Bill Roper, the senior producer at Blizzard Entertainment, and their latest action is the Warcraft 2. That's their latest action. And Adam, are you still with us?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay.
I had another question.
Okay, go ahead. Make it quick, please.
Real quick. I'd seen I think it was in the PC Gamer that another company was going to make take one of their adventure titles or something and make this online world out of it. Have you guys ever considered doing that with Warcraft? That might be really successful.
Yeah, we're definitely one of the things among the hundreds of things there is to look at and where our industry is going is definitely the influence of online and the actual full-fledged online communities that are starting to grow.
Yeah.
And I think that's a very exciting direction that we're taking, and definitely we're no solid plans, but always looking to see where we can go.
Cool. Okay. Just for being a part of the Computer Fun Shop, Adam, you've won the Shander Pack of the Day, which is the Electronic Roadhouse, and you also get Warcraft 2,
awesome.
Tides of Darkness.
Awesome.
And you also get a month of service on the Rock Garden Online service.
Okay. You guys have a Happy New Year.
Okay, you too. Appreciate you being a part of the conversation. Let's go back to the phone really quick and welcome Mike to the Computer Fun Shop. Welcome to the show, Mike.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Pretty good. How are you?
Okay, what's your question really quick?
Well, I've had Warcraft 1 and 2, and you can credit my purchase of Warcraft 2 to the spawning technology. I played on my school with 5 other people, and I went out and bought it right away.
Great. Well, it sounds like you enjoyed it.
Oh, it was great. Yeah.
Well, good.
You're still playing it, though, right? I mean, it's not like the game's over and you're not playing it anymore.
Oh, no. I'm just not playing with the network because I went back home, and I go to school over in L.A.
Oh, okay.
Well, see, now you can start making some custom scenarios to take back for your friends to play with.
Oh, yeah. That's what I've been doing.
Great.
I'm playing over the modem over here. It's pretty fun. Oh, I was just wondering about the changes from Warcraft 1 to Warcraft 2. I was wondering, why didn't you have summoning of greater demons and water elementals? I sort of liked that in the first one.
Yeah, we found that if there was one thing in Warcraft 1 that was kind of unbalancing to play was the greater summoning.
Yeah.
Plus, we wanted to kind of make the demons a little more, especially wanted to make them a little more involved in the storyline, and make them a little more, well, I don't know, a little more mystic and grandiose. So the fact that you can't really summon them and control them anymore, we think kind of helped with that.
Oh, I see.
Okay, Mike, you got one really quick one? Sounds like you have one more.
I have one more question, really quick.
I'm sorry for rushing you, but we're getting close to the end of the show.
Okay, no problem. I noticed that the networking works over IPX networking. Were you planning on, for the next game, working over TCP/IP networks?
Actually, if you wanted to play for playing over internet, right?
Yeah.
If you get Kali, you can play War 2 over internet.
Yeah, I've looked into that. Yeah.
What's that called, Bill?
Kali.
Kali.
How do you spell it?
K-A-L-I, I believe.
K-A-L-I, okay.
And actually, for anybody who wants to go ahead and try that, if you want to go to our website, we have a Warcraft 2 Kali patch that you can just download, and you run it from your command line when you start Warcraft 2, and it makes you fully, happily Kali compatible.
Cool. Where's your website?
Our website is http://www.blizzard.com. www.blizzard.com. Right.
Okay.
And that's our website, and there's tons of new stuff on there, and it talks about our upcoming titles and War 2 and everything, and lots of patches and stuff to download, and we're always in the process of trying to get more custom scenarios and maps up there too.
Great. Mike, just for being a part of the Computer Fun Shop, you've won Warcraft 2, Tides of Darkness, so there's one you can give to your friends.
Yeah.
And it's also cool because if you're playing with somebody, then they can have the animations and the sounds and stuff. I mean, with the spawning, you don't get all the cool movies and stuff.
Right, when you're playing by yourself, right?
Right. Okay. And you also want a copy of the Electronic Roadhouse and the month of online service from the Rock Garden, of course. And we appreciate you being a part of the show.
Thank you.
Bill, how do we get a hold of you via email?
You can write to, if you want to write to Blizzard, you can just write to web@blizzard.com.
Okay.
Right, at blizzard.com.
At blizzard.com.
And if people want to write me, there's no guarantee I'll have time to write you back, but I'll try. And I'm broper@blizzard.com.
B Roper, B-R-O-P-E-R.
Right, B-R-O-P-E-R.
At Blizzard, BLIZZARD.com.
And if people also are interested in learning more about how to get games from us and stuff, they can write to sales@blizzard.com. That'd be the other good way to get to
sales@blizzard.com. Okay. Appreciate you being a part of the show.
Sure, it's been great.
Okay. You're listening to the Computer Fun Shop on 1510 AM KFNN. My name is Mark Shander. Our guest was Bill Roper, the senior producer at Blizzard Entertainment. The January 7th edition of the Computer Fun Shop is pre-recorded. It's a laugh riot. The guests are David Hoy and Scott Craven, computer writers from the Arizona Republic and the Phoenix Gazette. This January 7th show is on tape. You can't call in, but you can still enter to win a Shander pack by listening to the show, and you'll find out how. The Computer Fun Shop is copyright 1995 by myself and KFNN Radio for one more day. Next show will be copyrighted 1996. It'll be interesting to listen to the end of that and find out if we caught that or not. And all rights are reserved. No portion of the program may be recorded or distributed electronically without prior written consent. Computing America with Craig Crossman is next on KFNN, so be sure to stay tuned for that. If you want to get in touch via email, just send email to me at Shander, S-H-A-N-D-E-R, at CIS.CompuServe.com. That's Shander, S-H-A-N-D-E-R, at CIS.CompuServe.com.